quality is pretty good on that underwater camera right now. The water looks nice. So yeah, you guys should get some good views there. So stay tuned. If you guys have any questions, just put them over to the comment section, and I'll be checking that from time to time, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. And by all means, drop a line, say hello. Talk to you in a bit. Sorry guys, I'm just jumping on here again. I forgot to actually introduce our guests for today. We have Stefan aboard again from the Assiniboine Park Conservancy, and we have Sasha on board. She's a seasonal science tech with the CNSC. She's been on the water to see belugas before, but this is her first time on the beluga boat. So maybe she'll swing on a little later and have a chat with you guys. And like most mornings, guys, we do have quite a few whales here, especially on our stern right now, but they are actively feeding, very busy, kind of zipping around here, feeding on the small fish. I would assume they're still fishing in Capelin. They've been doing that ever since I got here, and it's a couple weeks now, but who knows, maybe they've switched over to Cisco or something, not exactly sure, but they are preoccupied right now, so we're just going to hang out here and wait for them to have their breakfast, and hopefully they'll come in and say hello when they're ready. I just hopped over to the comment section for a second. Being still, I just saw your comment there. Good morning / good afternoon to you. I guess we're on a bit of a different time change here, but yeah, good afternoon, good morning to you as well. Good to see you back. Hope you enjoyed today. On our above water cams, guys, right on our port side now. You'll see little bit of a whale action there. They're kind of just cruising along, chasing fish. But there's a couple calves there with their moms. It's pretty good, pretty cool view there. I saw a couple spy hops too, actually, which was neat. We did have a couple there that came by, said hello at the camera. I love the way the sun is now too. You'll notice that you'll kind of get that sun rippling effect on their skin when they come into the camera. It's really, really neat. For the birders out there, we have quite a few actually. Arctic terns buzzing around us here. They're diving down, so I would assume that these belugas are feeding on capelin still. Those small capelin are much more manageable for the terns, and a very important food source as well. So. Port side above water should be looking pretty good right now. Good morning, Arctic Fox. I just saw your comment coming in there. Quite warm down in Kentucky. That's crazy. It's just right here. Nice t-shirt weather, I guess. Can be a little chilly here in the wind, but yeah, I mean, I would suggest rather than us send that weather down to you, you just head on up here and hang out in Churchill, see some whales. Good morning, Tony, down in Florida. Great to hear from you. Would much rather be on the boat in Churchill. It's pretty nice here. I will say that. It's beautiful. But I love Florida as well. Gotta say that. Also, guys, you may get a glimpse of it on the underwater camera, but we do have quite a few jellies in the water today, floating around here. So that's pretty neat. I did see some couple yesterday that kind of zipped by the camera, so just keep an eye for that as well. again, I'll just chime in and let our viewers know, especially those that just might have tuned in, that these whales are heavily feeding right now, so they are quite busy. Now, we do have a couple here coming to say hello, but don't be they're getting a little more playful. But don't be discouraged if you're not seeing a whole lot right now. But that'll change pretty soon. Let us know how it's sounding too, guys, in the comment section there. It should be sounding pretty good. I can actually hear these whales right here when I'm just kind of sitting in my chair talking to you. So, yeah, should be sounding good on your end for sure. Some great shots there, guys. Still shots in the comment section. You guys are getting some good captures. Again, you'll notice we talk about it a fair bit, but um, for the new viewers tuning in, you will notice that these whales have quite a few scars, and a lot of these scars are actually from the teeth of other whales. They kind of rake their teeth over themselves as a form of social behavior, and it can cause a lot of this scarring. Typically, it doesn't last overly long, probably a season, but yeah, it's there's some great pictures of that on there. They'll also have scarring from just kind of feeding under sea ice, bumps and scrapes, that kind of thing. And more rarely, we will see, usually around the blowhole area, we will see scarring from attempted polar bear attacks as well. Normally, when the bears go after these whales, they find them in small leads in the ice where the whales get trapped temporarily, where they don't have a blowhole for a long, long distance, and they kind of need to stick around that hole, and the bears will hang around there and try to get at them. So some of that scarring comes from that for sure, but the majority of what we're seeing here comes from other whales and possibly ice. Whoa, we just had a big splash right next to us on the starboard side. They're starting to get a little more playful, which is good. Again, guys, keep your eyes out on that underwater cam. We just got a message from one of our team members that tuned in, and they said they've seen some capelin kind of zipping by on the underwater cam. So that's pretty neat if you can catch that. Again, right now they are feeding on capelin, but their diet can vary quite a bit actually. Anything from small invertebrates to Arctic cod, capelin, Arctic char even. Again, getting back to their skin condition and some of the scarring and pox marks and stuff that you can see on their skin. They are actually in their molting phase right now, so they are shedding some of that skin, so that can make their skin look a little more kind of rough. Starboard side right now is looking really good. I think we might have some visitors on the underwater cam here shortly. They seem to be. Let's see what happens here. I just noticed some of you guys got some pictures in the comment section of those chapped lips, we call it. Yeah, that's a great look at it right there. You'll notice, if you look at those pictures, you'll notice that the skin is very rough looking around the lips. And, you know, a lot of that comes from just feeding on the rough ocean floors and beneath the ice as well. And it kind of roughs up that skin right on the lips, and it kind of gives them that chapped lip look. So yeah, that's a cool catch. I've seen quite a few what seems to be family groups this morning as well. Seen, you know, 3, 4, sometimes 5 whales with a baby, and that is, you know, no doubt females that are hanging out together in a small family unit. Could be a mom and a grandparent, great grandparent even. These whales do stick together. They have a pretty complex social structure. Yeah, those older whales they'll stop being able to give birth right around 40 years of age, and that allows them to kind of stick with the younger moms and show them the ropes and get them through their first few years of motherhood, and then soon enough it'll be their turn to kind of do the same with their kids. And of course, just like clockwork, as soon as those belugas start to feed and the terns and gulls come around to pick up the scraps, so do the Jaegers. We have one sitting here on our port side now, just waiting for a free meal. And he'll just hang there until he sees another bird kind of pick up a morsel of food, and then he'll give chase to that bird and basically bug it until it lets it go. You'll notice too, guys, and that's juvenile. These female whales, well, guys, for birthing until they're about 40 years of age. And actually, long-lived. Some of these whales can live up to 79 to 80 years. So potentially, we are seeing some pretty old whales out here as well, not just young. Billy Jackyard, I just saw your picture of what looks to be a jelly. It's a little bit hard to see on my screen here because the sun is shining on it, but it certainly looks like a jelly. Cool shot you got there. Hey, Cloud. Nice water shot. What should Hey guys, I just jumped over to the comment section. I noticed that you guys were saying that the audio was breaking up a little on my microphone, so I did do a reset here, so I'm hoping that solved that issue. So let me know if it sounds better to you guys. Alright guys, I haven't been on the comment section yet, but I just got a message from our ops team saying that do believe the sound issue is corrected. Thanks for your patience there on that. Some of these, to get all this stuff to work technically out here on the water, kind of off grid, is a little challenging at times. So thank you for sticking with us there on that. Port side above water camera, guys, is looking pretty good right now, I'd say. We got some whales just kind of motoring along beside us. Hey, Buffykins, I just noticed you were on here. Good morning to you. Also, Cloud, you got a really cool picture of what looks to me to be a whale and a jelly in the same frame, which is pretty cool. Thanks for that. Sugar G Mom 21, I do believe it was. I saw you had a picture up of like a really, really cool shot of the whale's rail in under. And again, those are just fat storage, and they can manipulate the muscles beneath those fat storages, and it gives them better control and maneuverability when they're zipping around here. Of course, they have no dorsal fin. They just have a more tough dorsal ridge. That lack of dorsal fin actually allows them to, kind of sneak in under the ice and navigate far, far in under the ice flows. It gets them out of danger, away from their top predator, of course, the orca. The orcas have those big dorsals, and they can't get in under the sea ice, so that's a pretty neat little adaptation there for the belugas, I think. Also helps with heat retention. I mean, these waters aren't too bad that we're in here now. Still not comfortable for humans to swim in by no means, but it isn't terribly cold. But when they leave here, they migrate back into the Arctic. The waters get seriously frigid. So not having those big dorsal fins that require heat allows them to, store it and send it to other places in the body that need it. Again, guys, great shots in the comment section there. Thank you for popping those up for me because, I can see it on a small screen here in real time, but I have so much going on here that, between running the mics and the comment section and running the boat, it's really easy for me to miss a lot of this stuff. So those shots are super cool. I really, really love that. Thank you. So we just had quite a few whales on our port side that were cruising along with us. It seemed like they've circled back to get more fish there behind us, but it was a good look at, kind of like their cruising speed. They do their normal speed would be anywhere from 4 to 9 kilometers an hour, I guess. But they can make those short bursts, right? So they can get up to 20, 22 kilometers in a very short burst. So slow, I guess, in whale terms. Again, kind of like their size, I guess. They're kind of on the smaller side, but still not small, not slow. The fish that they corral up here don't have a chance when they start, really turning on the jets and chasing them down. Arctic fox, that's a super cool shot you got there on the above water cam. With that head sticking out, you can really see that squishy melon head there. Cool shot. Here we go, guys. We're getting some cool interactions here on the back, on the underwater cam. When they come and check out the camera like that too, it gives you kind of a good sense of just how intelligent they are and how curious. Very, very curious. And because their vertebrae aren't fused in their necks, it gives them, you know, they have that advantage. They can move their head around, look up, look down, look side to side, and really check us out good. It's pretty neat. And I'm sure you guys can hear them on the hydrophone. Again, I can hear them just from sitting here in my seat at the helm. They are called sea canary for a reason. They almost constantly chatter and chirp and squeal. Their language is quite complex. And again, it's also believed that, you know, different subpopulations in different areas kind of have their own dialect as well, like us humans do, which is pretty neat. Great shots there, guys. We had a nice little following there for a minute. They really got interested in us. I think it was Arctic Fox, I do believe. I just saw that you had a picture up, and I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whales in one shot. They're kind of tagging along with us there. That was pretty neat. Just check out some of the sunlight, guys, rippling on the backs of those whales as they come up to the cam. So cool. Beautiful, beautiful shots. That was pretty cool. I was thinking we were going to have a chomper there for a minute. Kind of opened his mouth a couple times. Yesterday we had one particular whale who just always wanted to kind of put his mouth over the camera, which was pretty neat, and gave us a good shot at those teeth. And sometimes people ask why, why would they come up and kind of nibble on the camera, and it's just a curiosity thing. Of course, I always say they don't have any hands. So, when they're just so intelligent and so inquisitive that, if they really want to check out what this is, then I guess the mouth is the next best thing. So we're just motoring along here, guys, just headed kind of up to the more northern part of the estuary. Seems like quite a few whales up there buzzing around, so we'll go check these guys out, see if they want to play along. There you go, guys. Check out that head movement there. That whale's kind of looking up, looking down. That was pretty neat. Again, that's always so bizarre for me to see because we don't get many belugas at all back home in Newfoundland. We get, I mean, maybe like one every couple of years that'll kind of stray off course, but certainly don't get to spend any time with them like I do here. And all of my work back home would be with humpback whales or minke whales, dolphins, things like that, fin whales. And of course they have no mobility in their necks, so for me to look at a whale kind of looking all around everywhere is pretty cool. It takes my brain a few seconds to clue in on what I'm looking at for a bit. I'm just kind of stopped here, guys, just drifting along. We're completely surrounded by whales here. Just want to see if they'll come and say hello. I think our guests on the back deck are getting a lot of cool pictures. You may be noticing quite a few bubbles here right now too, guys. We just came up on some wake from another boat there, so it's a little bumpy, but should smooth out here in a minute. So guys, not sure if you caught that on the underwater cam or not, but I just got word from Stefan on the back deck that he saw a huge school of capelin come by. So yeah, you might have caught some of that on there. I'm not sure, but these whales are certainly still feeding quite a bit. we're seeing a lot of cool feeding behavior now, guys. So keep an eye on those cameras. You may see that, Caitlin. It's got the water, of course, is slightly murky. But anytime, from my window, anytime a whale swims by with that white backdrop of the whale, you can see the capelin swimming around frantically there, trying to get away from the whales. All right, guys, we're starting to get quite a bit of interaction back there with the underwater cam, which is pretty cool. It looks really good on my end. Hope you guys are enjoying it. They are feeding, but they periodically kind of break away from it and check us out and then go back to feeding, and they're jumping around all over the place. But just hopping over to the comment sections here, guys. Mountain Gale 70 says, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool." That's a pretty cool pic too, actually. We had quite a few following us there for a little bit. Got some really cool views. Trogger, nice work on the above water cams. Super cool shots there. I'm looking at one that you posted. You can actually see that dorsal ridge really, really well on that one. Really illustrates, obviously, that lack of dorsal fin and that tough, rigid dorsal ridge. April Owl, cool pick of those whales on the above water camera following along with us. So that's kind of like what my view is a lot of the time, reading my window here. I think it was Tani maybe commented on the extra curvy flippers on one there. That's a pretty neat shot as well. So guys, you may have noticed some bubbles on the cam just then. We were just kind of motoring out of one area, letting those guys go back to their feeding and moving up. There's another group up ahead of us, just to the northwest of us here. And we're going to check these guys out. We do have a couple here that kind of looked like they were curious as well. I think they may come say hello in a couple seconds. But yeah, we're just going to motor on up and see what these guys are doing. Mountain Gale 70. I just saw your question in the comment section there. As time goes on in the seasons, can we identify some whales? And the answer is absolutely yes. There is actually one particular whale here that's been. I haven't seen that whale today, but it's been coming around the boat every day except for today. And it has some pretty unique big scars on its dorsal ridge, and yeah, so it's quite easy to tell some of these whales apart, by their scars. That's a great question, actually. A lot of what Stefan and his crew are doing here with beluga bits is trying to identify a lot of these whales, and of course they are using the still shots from these underwater cameras to achieve that, just purely by scars and those kind of things. So yeah, great question. Mountain Gale 70, just to elaborate a little bit on what you said there earlier about, or when you asked if we could identify some of these whales by scars. I work primarily back home with humpbacks, and the same applies for humpbacks as well. Like, you will see a lot of unique scars on them, and it's kind of neat to go out in boat every day, or sometimes even if you go a week or two and you head out and then you see that whale again, and we will see them from year to year as well, which is even cooler. It's kind of like seeing an old friend, Sugar G Mum 21. I just saw your picture actually that you put up from today that you got yesterday, which is a super cool shot of that tail, which has some crazy unique scarring on it. So that's a good example of what we were just talking about. So we would definitely be able to tell that whale apart from others, you know, should we see it again. Thanks for that. We're getting some beautiful shots back there, guys, of these two whales there. Love that sunlight on them. It's funny because I saw these guys coming from a long distance, and they were just motoring to get here to see us. Seeing quite a few whales again to the northwest of us here, so I'm just gonna take our time and motor up here and see if they'll give us a look. Seen lots of babies today, which is really cool. Again, these whales are in here utilizing this estuary for food, you know, for shelter, in that orcas tend not to come in this far, so it kind of gives them a little slight barrier, I guess, where they feel safe and they can come in here and give birth. The water is, of course, a little warmer here as well, which is easier on the calves. The calves aren't born with a whole lot of blubber yet. These adults here in the estuary, their blubber can be up to 5 inches thick, which is quite the insulator when you think about it. Really protects them from those frigid Arctic waters. And again, I mentioned earlier, they are in their molting phase right now, so they will use that gravelly, rocky bottom here in the estuary to kind of scratch some of that dead skin off, and that warm water in the estuary, you know, helps promote that growth of the new skin as well. Just motoring along here, guys. You're going to see a lot of bubbles on the underwater cam. Just bear with us. Can't go too fast, as our underwater camera is down, of course. But we're going to get there as soon as we can. A bunch more whales just to the north of us. So we're going to head up that way. Looks like some of them are still feeding for sure. They're pushing fish around, which is why, you know, 1 minute they're down one end, the next minute they're up the other end, kind of thing. I can imagine these fish are pretty frantic to get away from their pursuers. So, you know, that kind of lends itself, I guess, to these whales being on the move so much today. Really hope you guys are enjoying the live feed. I think we've seen some pretty cool stuff thus far. It was kind of like a little bit of a slow start, and then they turned on really good, and now they're kind of gone back to feeding again. But hopefully that'll come around again here shortly. Again, any questions, don't forget our comment section. I'll have a look as soon as I can. So we're just coming up on some whales here. I want to give them some room, of course. Just kind of go to the outside a bit, give them lots of room. And we'll see in a few minutes if these guys want to come check us out or not. Also on the above water cam, on the port side is a good view of the shoreline here, kind of across from the town of Churchill. This land is pretty rugged, pretty unique, I think. It's beautiful. And unique thing about this area is that this area is still, as we speak, going through isostatic rebound. So basically, thousands of years ago, there was this huge glacier sitting on top of this land, and it kind of pushed down that land, kind of sandwiched it down, kind of like I guess if you push your finger down on a sponge. And once that glacier melted, ever since, that land has been slowly kind of bouncing back, much like a sponge would. So of course it's at a very slow rate, but over the course of 10 years, 20 years, each time you can see quite the difference in the land, which is pretty amazing to me. Pretty cool that the weight of ice could just kind of force land down in that way. You'll also see on our above water cams, you may see some other boats as well. We have quite a few other people out today too as well, viewing the whales and enjoying the weather. Can't think of a better day to do it, to be honest. It's just beautiful. Sorry guys, I just had to speed up there and reposition. You may be hearing those whales on the hydrophone, perhaps. There are quite a few whales on our starboard side right now, but again, just want to give them some space. I want to give everybody else some space. There are a lot of people here viewing as well, so we'll just take our time and see how it plays out. Hey, Sugar G Mam 21. Just saw your comment there. This has been amazing again today. So many great pictures. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We still got quite a little bit of time here yet, but yeah, appreciate the love there. Thank you very much. Just waiting to see here if these whales are going to catch up. They are swimming. Seems like they're showing some interest, and some are headed this way. So we will see how it goes. I've seen a couple of pretty good spy hops so far. You know, the whole head coming out of the water, which is pretty cool to see. Just motoring along again, guys. Going to give those whales a little bit of space. They seem very busy. Um, Feeding again, so just going to check out some more and see what we can come up with for you here. Okay, just hopping over to the comment section. Cloud, that's a super cool pic of a spy hop there. Yeah, you're right. You don't get to see that on the cams a whole lot because it happens so fast. You know, it's almost instantaneous. Their head, half of their body comes out of the water and back down again. So that's a super super cool capture. And yeah, that was, I guess, maybe not this year, but yeah, no, that's super cool. Thank you so much for that. Kimmy the cat has a question about beluga behavior. Do we see any unique behaviors in beluga that visit here in Churchill? Because of course, like she said, we do certainly do see that from polar bears as well. Yeah, and we do for sure. I mean, they're just the amount of curiosity they have, how they interact with boats and people here. I think it's fairly unique to the area. No doubt these whales come every single year. The moms, teach the young that it's cool to hang out around the Churchill boats and to come say hello to the people, and they just that kind of gets passed down, and that behavior just continues on, which I think is pretty unique. I know belugas are certainly social and curious, all over the world, but I think maybe a little bit more so here in Churchill. And I've also been told that belugas here have actually been recorded mimicking the train, the actual horn of the train, which is which is pretty amazing. Of course, you can't drive to Churchill. You have either had to fly or come by train. So most of the goods get shipped here by train. So you will see you will see the train, but you will also hear that train horn throughout the day. And yeah, it seems like maybe some of those. Of course, these whales can hear that underwater. And yeah, they're super intelligent, and they've been mimicking that apparently. So that's pretty wild. So yeah, that's a couple examples there for you. That's a great question actually. Thanks. And getting back to that question, how interactive they are with people here, like they'll actually, uh, people that are on paddleboards and stuff, they kind of just like to go over and kind of just nudge them along, and take them for a little ride and stuff. It's pretty amazing to see them engage humans, in that way. When they go back on their original migration routes and they start to move back more into the Arctic, they have a lot more predators, of course, and they are hunted by the indigenous populations in the north for subsistence, for food, and a part of their culture. So, these whales, I'm sure, once they leave Churchill, then they kind of understand that they've moved out of the shelter of the estuary and to keep their a little bit more distance from people, I'm sure, and other predators. And getting back to the train comment, um, the train whistle is what I was trying to say, not the train horn. Um, I'm not a coffee drinker, so it takes it takes quite a bit of time sometimes for my brain to fully come to life. So train whistle. Somebody just commented about the sunbeams that you can see on the water on the whales there, how beautiful it is. And I would thoroughly agree with that. It's such a beautiful day, and that sun beaming down on the backs of the white whales looks super cool on the underwater cameras. Lots of whale action here on our starboard side, but they're just busy feeding. We've also still got some seals hanging around here too, guys. Just saw another harbor seal on our starboard side, but of course they don't stick around on the surface a whole lot, so it's kind of difficult to get them on the above water cams, but just kind of want to paint a picture for you of what I'm seeing here. Also on our port side right now, you will see the port of Churchill. Has a really, really good view of that there. Again, beautiful day here. Here we go, guys. We got some hanging out here. I just actually saw one swim right along by my window on my starboard side here. again, right now we are in relatively shallow water, about 40 feet right now where we are. But of course, throughout the day we've been in much shallower, sometimes as shallow as 12, 14 feet. So these whales have the luxury of hanging out in this shallow water here. They don't have to take overly big breaths, so you will see them surface quite a lot here. But when they get on their normal migration routes and they get out and feed in deeper water, they can dive much deeper, down to 1,000 meters. So they can hold their breath up to 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, which is remarkable. And yeah, that allows them to really get down in that deep water and to forage for food way down there. So we have some whales right under us now. I just noticed they just kind of came up out of the depths there a little bit. So we may get some that'll come by and say hello. Oh, there we go. What a beautiful shot there, guys. So curious. That sunlight is just incredible. I know I've mentioned it many times, but it's remarkable. Got a whole bunch of friends there, guys, coming in hot, checking us out. We're getting some great shots there now, guys. I just swung over to the comment section, and you guys are getting a lot of cool stills too. So cool. I think we did. I kind of caught the glimpse on my screen because I was looking down for a minute, but I think we did have a mouther there for a second. It seemed like they opened their mouth and was checking out the camera. It's a pretty good look at their teeth. Of course, they use those teeth for grasping live prey. And a fun fact about the belugas, that's actually how we can tell their age. So their teeth can actually be cut, and there are rings on the tooth, much like a tree. So yeah, a ring for roughly every year, so we can tell basically by counting the rings the age of the whale. But of course, as they get older and their teeth wear down, it's a little more challenging. All right, guys, we're getting some pretty cool action. I stayed as quiet as I could there for you because I knew I could hear the whales calling under the boat here, so I figured it was sounding pretty good to you. We did have a mouther that time, came up for sure. Opened up that big old mouth and checked out the camera. Gave us a cool look at the teeth and the tongue there. Wow, guys, I hope this is looking as good for you as it is for me. The whales really turned on to us here. They're getting pretty playful and really coming up to show us some cool views. So I just hopped over to the comment section again, and I saw somebody commented and asked, what do you think the bumps and scratches are on these whales? Of course, some of these scratches that you're seeing is actually from other whales' teeth, because they do that as part of their social behavior, but it can also come from ice for sure, as well as right now they are molting their skin, so they are scratching on the bottom, on the gravelly, stony bottom, to get some of that dead skin off. So a lot of that scarring that you see and kind of new skin coming out is actually what you're seeing on the camera there. Alrighty, guys. Well, that was pretty incredible, I think. I think that was a pretty good goodbye party we had following us there for quite some time. Seemed like they were following us all the way back to port. I hope you guys enjoyed it today. I think we got some pretty good views again. Water clarity was great, and the whales certainly played along. So big thank you to the whales, I guess. Thank you to you guys for tuning in. I always love to see all the comments. We had some great questions. I want to thank our guests, Sasha and Stefan, for joining us today. Also want to thank Explore.org, of course, for having us out here doing this. And I also want to thank our good friends over at Frontiers North Adventures as well. So yeah, we're just motoring on in here now towards the port. Of course, again, like we always do, we work the tides, so that's our time limit for today. I'll be back tomorrow with you guys at 11:45 a.m., I do believe, Central Time. So yeah, thanks again. I hope you guys have a great day, whatever your day entails and wherever you are. And I will catch you back here tomorrow. Thanks, guys.